Patrik Laine has probably had the best career resurgence in recent memory, because not long ago he seemed to be stuck in a downward spiral, dealing with mental health struggles and injuries that derailed his game. Now, he's completely flipped the script and is back on track, playing like the all-star we always knew he could be. He was seen as a guy that could come into the league and easily score 50 goals a season, and in his early years he showed that he had the talent to do that. But then things started to go downhill. Injuries, inconsistent play, and the pressures to always perform started to get in the way of things. Off the ice, he was dealing with mental health struggles, which just made everything even tougher. By the time we got the Blue Jackets, his game just wasn't the same, and people started to think he would never live up to the hype. It was clear he needed a fresh start to rediscover the player that everyone knew he could be, and he found exactly that in Montreal. Now he's back on track, and he's one of the best goal scorers in the entire league. Patrik Laine was one of the most talked about prospects heading into the 2016 NHL draft. At 6'4" and 201 pounds, he had the size and skill that made people compare him to some of the NHL's best goal scorers. Playing in Finland's top league, he scored 17 goals and 16 assists in just 46 games, which was super impressive for a teenager going up against pros. But what really made Laine stand out was his performance in international tournaments. At the 2016 World Juniors, he helped Finland win gold with his incredible scoring ability, earning a spot on the All-Star team. He didn't stop there though, he also dominated at the IIHF World Championship, leading Finland to a silver medal and being named the tournament's MVP. Back in Finland's Liga, he was the best player in the playoffs, leading all players with 10 goals and proving he could shine when it mattered most. With all these achievements, it wasn't surprising when Laine was picked second overall in the draft. The expectations for him were sky high, with many believing he was destined to become one of the NHL's top scorers. And he quickly became exactly that. He made an explosive start to his NHL career with the Winnipeg Jets, putting together an incredible rookie season in 2017. Scoring 36 goals and 64 points, his deadly shot and scoring ability made him one of the league's most exciting young players. He followed it up with an even better second season, scoring 44 goals and 70 points, finishing just behind Alexander Ovechkin for the league's leading goals. In the 2018 playoffs, he added 12 points in 17 games and helped the Jets make it all the way to the Western Conference Final. It looked like Laine was on his way to becoming one of the NHL's top stars. But after those first two amazing seasons, things started to go off track. Laine's play became streaky, with moments of brilliance, but also stretches where he struggled. People began pointing out flaws in his defensive game, and Laine grew frustrated with his role on the team. He didn't always get the line mates or the ice time he wanted, which added to the tension. On top of that, contract talks became an issue, with Laine feeling undervalued, while the Jets seemed unsure about his future with the team. Even though he put up 63 points in 68 games during the 2019-2020 season, it was clear that things just weren't working out between him and Winnipeg. By January 2021, the relationship had hit its breaking point, and the Jets traded Laine and Jack Roslovic to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Pierre-Luc Dubois. For Laine, it was a chance to reset and start fresh after things fell apart in Winnipeg. For the Jets, it was an opportunity to add a strong two-way center to their lineup. While the trade gave both sides a new beginning, it also marked a disappointing end to Laine's time in Winnipeg, a journey that started with so much potential, but ultimately ended with unmet expectations. Laine's time with the Blue Jackets was full of ups and downs, mostly because of injuries that kept him from being consistent. After joining the team in January 2021, he finished the season with 10 goals and 21 points in just 45 games. While those numbers weren't really great for a player of his talent, adjusting to a new team and a new system in a shortened season made things a little bit tougher. In 2021-22, Laine started to look like himself again. Even though he missed 26 games of the season, he still managed 26 goals and 56 points in 56 games, showing the scoring touch that the Blue Jackets were counting on. Then in the next season, he dealt with a sprained elbow and back issues, which limited him to just 55 games. Despite all that, he still put up a solid 22 goals and 52 points. Things were starting to go good, but during the 2023-2024 season, things got so tough for Patrik Laine that many people wondered if his NHL career was in serious trouble. He was dealing with injuries that only allowed him to play just 18 games where he managed 6 goals and 9 points. On top of that, his struggles with mental health became clear, and in January of 2024, he stepped away from hockey to join the NHL Player Assistance Program to focus on himself. With his performance dipping and so much time away from the game, a lot of fans and analysts started to question if Laine would ever get back to the elite level he'd once shown. Some even thought his career could be in jeopardy. But Laine's decision to address his mental and physical health just showed his determination to fight through these challenges. And he eventually did fight through them. In July of 2024, about 7 months after stepping away from hockey, Laine was cleared to play again after finishing his time in the player assistance program. But things with the Columbus Blue Jackets had run their course after a few tough years. By the time he was ready to return, it was obvious that both he and the team needed a fresh start. The Montreal Canadiens jumped at the chance to bring Patrik Laine onto their team, trading defenseman Jordan Harris to Columbus in return. It was a low-risk move for Montreal. Laine had struggled in recent years and his value was at an all-time low, but his potential to be a top goal scorer was still there. The Canadiens saw it as a great chance to add someone who could make a big impact on the ice and help their young team grow into something special. Laine joined a roster packed with young talent, including Juraj Slafkovsky, Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, and Laine Hutson, and his role wasn't just about scoring goals. He was expected to lead by example, mentoring the young players and helping them develop their game. And right away, he made it clear that he wanted to be more than average. He talked about getting back to being a 40 or even 50 goal scorer and helping the team win. The Canadiens planned on using his incredible shot and hockey IQ to improve their power play, where his scoring ability could be a real game changer. For Laine, it was a very fresh start. For Montreal, it was a chance to take their young team to the next level. It really felt like things were coming together and Laine was ready to put the struggles of the past behind him. Then came the bad news. In late September, during a preseason game against the Toronto Maple Leafs, Laine suffered a knee-on-knee collision that left him with a sprained left knee. It was a brutal blow for both Laine and the Canadiens. Preseason injuries are always tough, but this one hurt more because it felt like Laine's big moment was just around the corner. Instead of starting strong, he was sidelined for over 2 months, putting his Habs debut on hold. Without Laine in the lineup, the Canadiens were not a good team, but that was expected. They finished 5th last in the league last season, and not many aspects of the team improved besides the natural development of some of their young stars. And as a result, they got off to an 8-13-3 start with a negative 25 goal differential. They were in a bad spot, and it was obvious that the season wasn't really going anywhere. That was until December 3rd when Patrik Laine finally hit the ice for his first game with the Montreal Canadiens against the New York Islanders. After being out for over 2 months with a knee injury, he made an immediate impact by scoring a power play goal in the second period with his trademark shot on the power play.
Laine Hudson, Laine thought about the one-timer, rips and score! Welcome to the Bell Center, Patrik Laine! His first as a Montreal Canadien!
It was the perfect way to announce his return. The game stayed close with the Islanders tying it late in the second, but Nick Suzuki scored in overtime to give Montreal a 2-1 win. Laine's goal wasn't the only thing that stood out. His presence on the ice alone helped open up chances for his teammates, showing just how much he could add to the team's offense. His debut was a strong start and a good sign that he was ready to play a big role for the Canadiens. For both Laine and the team, it was a fresh beginning and a step in the right direction. And after the strong debut, Laine did not let up. He scored again in the very next game and then added a goal and an assist 2 games later against Anaheim. A few games after that, he tore apart the struggling Sabres, scoring a hat trick of power play goals.
Laine here and he scores. Here comes the one-timer, scores. Here comes the one-timer, scores. The hat trick goal. All power play markers for Patrik Laine.
He kept the momentum going in back-to-back games against Detroit, where he scored 2 more goals, proving he was quickly becoming a huge part of the Canadiens' offense, especially on their power play, where he scored all 8 of his goals on. Not only is Laine performing well, but he's also helping Montreal perform well. Since his return to the lineup, Montreal has gone 6-3 with a +4 goal differential and a 26.6% power play conversion. Compared to the Habs' play without Laine, they are a completely different team. With Laine, their points percentage is almost doubled. Their goals for per game is up 0.4 goals, and their goals against average is down more than an entire goal every game. And their biggest difference is their power play, which is 6% better, with Laine scoring every single goal on the man up. Now, Laine might love scoring on that power play, but Laine Hutson and Nick Suzuki seem to enjoy it just as much. Every one of Laine's goals has been set up by either Hutson or Suzuki, or both of them. And this chemistry hasn't just helped Laine, it also helped put Laine Hutson in the Calder Trophy conversation along Matvei Michkov. Hutson has recorded almost as many points as Michkov, but the fact that he's doing it as a defenseman makes it even more impressive.
Hudson at the goal line, Hudson, Suzuki, drop pass, Laine, one-timer, score!
The Canadiens are heading in the right direction, with a promising group of young players in their system. They've built up a pretty solid pool of prospects across all positions, giving the team plenty of options to develop into key contributors. With such a deep group of talented young players, the Canadiens are creating a foundation for long-term success. It's clear they're focusing on the future, which makes their rebuild feel like it's on the right track. When it comes to Patrik Laine, his current contract runs through the 2025-2026 season, but with the way he's been performing, the Canadiens may want to work on an extension soon. He's proven he's still a top goalscorer and an important leader for this young team. Keeping him in Montreal could help solidify their offense while their prospects continue to develop. That being said, the Canadiens might be closer to competing than many people realize. If their young players keep improving and they make a couple of smart moves, they could be in the playoff mix within the next 2 years. With so much young talent and veterans like Laine leading the way, they've got a solid foundation to build on. They're still a team in progress, but things are coming together faster than most expected, and they might even surprise people sooner rather than later.